Every time Tom Ford drops a new fragrance, y'all know I am intrigued. So today I will be sharing with you my thoughts on Tom Ford Soleil Brulant. This video will be a part of my Love, Like, or Let Down series. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts, then just keep watching. Really quick, I do want to introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Ayesha. I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're into, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So if you've never seen a video in my Love, Like, or Let Down series, it's basically where I give you guys my honest first impression of a fragrance. I wear it for a few days, and then within that same video, I come back and tell you guys what I think of it and if it ended up being a love, like, or a letdown for me. So this is basically like a first impression, but with more. So today we will be talking about Tom Ford Soleil Brulant. So first up, before I open the bottle, I do want to tell you guys, I am a huge Tom Ford fan. If you're not new here, I'm sure you already know that, but if you are new here, I have some other videos talking about my Tom Ford fragrance collection that I will link for you guys, so you can check those out. So I will preface this video by saying that I am a Tom Ford fan. I tend to like a lot of the fragrances that they come out with, but I don't like everything, and I definitely don't think everything is worth the money for me. That being said, as soon as I saw the promo photos for Soleil Brulant, I knew it was something that sounded like it was for me. However, since I saw those promo photos, I have seen a couple videos and this fragrance has not been getting the best reviews. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I still wanted to try it for myself because that's what I feel like you should do. If you really want to try a fragrance, don't be discouraged by some people not liking it. Also, don't be swayed by everybody loving a scent. We all have different tastes, and so I just want to get my own opinion on this. I picked this up from Sephora during their sale, so I got 20% off. And the good thing about Sephora is if I don't like it, if I absolutely hate it, I can return it. So here we go. Let's open this baby up. So here's what the box looks like. This is typical for the private blend fragrances. They all come in a box like this, just different colors based on what the bottle inside looks like. Now here is what the gorgeous bottle looks like. It's probably blinding y'all. Let me see if I can get y'all a close-up on it. Yeah, look at that gorgeousness. Now I'm not gonna lie, this bottle was part of the reason I wanted this fragrance. I don't just buy fragrances for the bottles, but I mean, come on. I'm really hoping I love the fragrance inside, because if I hate it, like if I absolutely hate it, I'm still gonna return it because I can't afford to pay this much for a pretty bottle. But yeah, I really hope this works because this would look stunning sitting in my Tom Ford collection. So anyway, let's spray it. First, I think I'm just gonna spray the inside of the box and see what it smells like there. Okay, so I definitely smell something like almond, just first sniff. Let me let it dry a little bit. Okay, I smell like almond and honey. I don't think almond is a note, but that's what I'm getting from this. And then I smell something like, I don't know if it's tobacco, but that's the vibe it's giving me. All right, let me spray my skin because, you know, when you smell stuff on boxes, you don't really know what it's gonna smell like. You need skin to make it work. All right, so I'm all sprayed up, and I have to say, I'm liking it so far. I'm actually kind of surprised because, like I said, so many people have negative opinions of it. But right now, I am definitely getting the honey. I'm definitely getting something like tobacco and almond, even though I don't think those are notes that are listed in this fragrance. I'm giving you guys what I think. When I come back and do the second half of the video, I'll give you the actual notes, so don't worry. Just make sure you watch the entire video. But what I'm gathering from it is like a spicy honey tobacco type scent, and I'm here for it. I also smell some sort of fruit, but I can't put my finger on what type of fruit, but it almost is like some fruit is underlying those notes that's giving it a sweeter tone, but this is not an overly sweet fragrance. I kind of do feel like there is a lot going on, but in my opinion, that's a good thing. Okay, I am excited. So I'm gonna wear this for about 10 minutes or so, and I'll be back for you guys in a hot second. So I've been wearing this fragrance for about 10 minutes, and it's definitely kind of like settled down. And I will say the honey has kind of decreased. I can still smell it, but initially I felt like I smelled a lot more honey, and now I'm smelling a lot more like woody notes. I don't know what type of wood, but maybe wood, and definitely something like, I don't know, I think it's some sort of resin or something, I'm not sure. But I still do really like it, but it does smell a little bit different than when I first sprayed it. So we shall see how this wears. I am excited to wear this. I am really liking it thus far. So I will be back for you guys. It'll be just a few seconds. For me, it'll probably be about 3 days. And then at that point, I will let you know what I think of it. As of right now, if I had to put this into a category of a love, a like, or a letdown, I would say right now it is sitting at a love. Shocking. I really didn't expect that, I have to be honest. So I'll see y'all in a few. So I'm back, and it's been 4 days since I filmed the first portion of this video, so I am ready to tell you guys what I think of the fragrance. So the top notes are bergamot, mandarin orange, and pink pepper. The middle notes are orange blossom and black honey. And the base notes are leather, vetiver, resins, frankincense, amber, and woodsy notes. That is according to Tom Ford. Of course, the notes don't tell the full story, which is why I don't typically talk specifically about the notes. I just kind of list them, but I'm trying something different out this time. And I wanted to kind of talk through the notes for you guys because some of you may find that helpful. So let me know if you find that more helpful down below, or if you want me to go back to the way that I usually do it and just list them. Anyway, those were the notes. And in my opinion, I definitely think the notes don't do this fragrance justice. To me, the notes don't really tell you what it smells like. And honestly, I do feel like this fragrance is pretty hard to describe. I can definitely smell the honey, and I don't know what black honey smells like, but when I smell this fragrance, I think of black honey because it's like a deeper honey. It is not the type of honey that you get in, say, like Marc Jacobs honey. I'm trying to think of any other honey fragrances, but I remember really loving Marc Jacobs honey. It was kind of that light, sparkling, fresh honey. This is definitely a more deep honey, but it still smells like a really genuine honey, if that makes sense. I also get a lot of amber in this fragrance. However, the amber is done in such a way that it's not super heavy, if that makes sense. So it's not like Grand Soir amber where I feel like I can only wear that during the winter time. This one is a lighter amber, and I actually think it's really well done. I also feel like this fragrance has like a little bit of like everything thrown in there. I definitely smell the vetiver in here, which is a bit like grassy smell. And I happen to really enjoy that in this fragrance because it helps it from being too sweet. I feel like if the vetiver wasn't there, I'm not sure that this fragrance will really feel as unique as it does. And yeah, I kind of feel like this fragrance is a mishmash of things. One minute you smell it and you smell one thing, the next minute you smell it and you smell something else. So I remember specifically watching Siri. So before I purchased this fragrance, I did watch a couple of reviews, and one of those reviews was Eva Monroe. I happen to love her. I love her taste in fragrances. I love that she kind of likes things that are outside of the box. And honestly, her review of this really made me concerned that I was not going to like this fragrance, because she said that it was like, I don't know her verbatim, but she said it was like a mishmash of everything kind of thrown in here and not done well. And in my opinion, I like everything that's thrown in here. I like the way it smells. I like that it smells unique, but in my opinion, it still smells really good. So that just goes to show, when you watch a fragrance review, that doesn't mean that you have to take what they say as Bible. We all have our own noses and we all have our own opinions. This is just, you know, my opinion. I also want to mention that at the beginning of this fragrance, I do get a lot of the honey, but as it dies down, the honey kind of dies down with it, and more of the woody, amber, resinous notes start coming out of the fragrance at dry down. And on my skin, the honey never really leaves. It just dies down and becomes like more of a background note, as opposed at the beginning of the fragrance, it's more of a foreground note. So let's talk about projection and longevity. I get good projection from this fragrance. I didn't quite realize it until the first day I wore it to work. And as soon as I walked in the door, I got 2 compliments from the 2 people that were there. And then later on that day, I got a compliment from somebody that was standing probably about 10 feet away from me. And that was not freshly applied. That was me wearing the fragrance at that point for probably maybe about 2-3 hours. As far as longevity goes, there is something to be desired with this fragrance, as I find with most fragrances, it seems. I think my skin really soaks up fragrances, and you know, that's just my body chemistry. But for me, for longevity, I get probably about 7 hours. However, after about 5 hours, it turns into a skin scent. Now, when I spray my clothes, I still feel like I only get about 6 hours before I really have to sniff myself to smell it. And I actually tested that little theory out yesterday with my husband. I kind of like got myself in his face to see if he could smell it. And he was like, "Are you trying to get me to smell your fragrance, or what's going on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, do you smell it?" So he said he didn't smell it. But then when I really like stuck it to his face, my shirt, then of course he smelled it. So I would say total longevity for me is about 7 hours or so, but it turns into a skin scent around the 5-hour mark. So I feel like after about 5 to 6 hours, I want to reapply it because I really want to smell this on me. So this fragrance is marketed as unisex, and I actually think that it sits right in the middle at that unisex line. I don't think that it leans either masculine or feminine. I think it sits perfectly in the middle. I think this could work for anyone. So where would I wear this fragrance? I actually think it's really great for every day, but I also think it would be great for a date night, a date day. I actually think this is really versatile. I've been wearing it nonstop since I got it because I've been testing it out, of course. And the only time that I felt like it felt a bit overbearing was I went to a trampoline park for my son's birthday. And as I started like sweating and stuff, I kind of felt, and I had my mask on, at one point I kind of felt like it was too much. And I think that's because I got really hot. I had, sprayed it on my shirt and all, and the mask, and it just got to be a little bit too much. It wasn't to the point where it made me sick or anything like that. But I did feel like it was a bit too much. So I live in Florida, so right now our weather is in the 80s pretty much, but lately, like since I've been testing this out, it's been rainy or overcast. So I have not worn it out on a day where it was super hot, like 90 degrees and up or anything like that. So I can't really speak on that because I haven't had that opportunity yet. I guess you guys will just have to keep tuning into my channel and see if I talk about this later this summer when it is like super hot. So, but so far I'm thinking that it will work for all seasons. Maybe not in the dead of summer, but definitely spring, fall, winter. So I happen to think this fragrance is pretty unique. I do have one fragrance that I think it smells similar to that we're going to talk about in just a second. But other than that, I don't have anything that I think smells like it. So the fragrance that I mentioned that I think it smells similar to is none other than Blue Lazuli from Armani Privé line. Y'all, I did a video, a Love Like or Letdown video for this fragrance, and spoiler alert, I love it. And this is the closest fragrance to me to Soleil Brulant. I don't think they are exactly the same. However, I think if you like one, you will like the other. So to me, Soleil Brulant is not as sweet as Blue Lazuli, but the honey note in them is very similar. And although Blue Lazuli has like honey and tobacco in it, Soleil Brulant kind of smells like it has tobacco or something hanging out in the background that is similar to tobacco. It may be the vetiver in here, I'm not sure. But to me, these fragrances do smell somewhat similar, but not so similar that I feel like both don't belong in my collection. Now, because Soleil Brulant is part of the Soleil line, I figured I should compare it to Soleil Blanc, the first fragrance out of this line, because all of these are supposed to be connected. All the Soleils are supposed to have some similar type DNA to them. So I do slightly smell some of the Soleil Blanc DNA in Soleil Brulant, and I can't tell you why. The notes are not similar. The fragrances do not smell similar, but when I smell them side by side, and I've tested this on skin and on paper, when I smell them side by side, there is definitely something in Soleil Brulant that is in Soleil Blanc, but to me, they are completely different fragrances. So it's kind of like if you've ever smelled a Mancera fragrance and they all have that kind of Mancera DNA. Some people say it smells very synthetic, all of their fragrances, but whatever. It's kind of like that, where you can smell that these two are related, but they are like distant cousins. So don't worry, if you have Soleil Blanc, you can still get Soleil Brulant. It will not be a duplication in your collection. So of course, we know this is going to be expensive, right? It's Tom Ford and it's the private line, and it is really expensive. And the 50 ml bottle, the one that I have, retails for $350. I didn't pay that. I got it on sale at Sephora, but it does retail for $350. So now that we're at the end portion of this video, I would like you guys to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you think this is going to be a love, like, or a letdown for me. I will give you guys a couple seconds to go ahead and type that down there, and then I will tell you guys what I think. So this fragrance for me is a love. I love it. I was very concerned that this was going to be a letdown for me. I'm not even gonna lie, because two of my faves didn't like it. So, you know, I was concerned that I wasn't gonna like it either. But I really do. I really honestly do. And it is a love for me. Although I do wish that it lasted longer before it became a skin scent, because I mean, I would love if this lasted 10 hours being the price that it is. Although I do wish that, for me in this case, that does not outweigh my love for the smell of this. I love how different it smells. I love how versatile I think this is going to be for me. And I love that this is a fragrance that I think will stand out amongst like the people that I would be around. I've gotten a lot of compliments on this every day that I've worn it. Every single time I've worn this, I've gotten a compliment from somebody on it. I don't wear fragrances only to get compliments, but that lets me know that people could smell it on me, and it's different enough for them to feel the need to compliment me on it. So anyway, I'm glad this is a love. I felt like it was a big risk, but I'm glad I followed my gut to go ahead and pick it up. If you guys have tried Soleil Brulant, let me know what you think of it below. I know this is going to be a controversial fragrance, and I'm not going to be offended if you guys don't like it. You can hate it. It doesn't matter to me. It's just fragrance, guys. I happen to love it, but let me know what you think of it below. And also, if you know anything that it's similar to, because like I said, the only one that I think is similar to is Blue Lazuli, which I happen to love as well. But if you guys just smell something that smells similar to Soleil Brulant that you could tell others about in the comments that may cost a little bit less, go ahead and leave that down below. That might really help somebody out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you are not already. Of course, share this video if you think it would be helpful to someone else. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, please do that as well. That's where I kind of give you guys a sneak peek on what videos will be coming up. And I share a little bit more of my personal life on that platform. Thank you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.